100 days ago, this forest was nothing more than a graveyard, but with time, it evolved through rain and fire. Watch as empires rise and predators fall. But the real question is who can survive. On day 1, the tank was built from dirt, a log, and a fox skeleton from head to toe. It may look barren now, but where there is death, there is life. The first plants began to emerge and they overtook the landscape. There were animals, both big and small. The snails were the earliest signs of life and spent most of their time eating. Everything was at peace, though this peace wasn't going to last for long. Plants were disappearing at an alarming rate, and not because of the snails. Something else was eating them. Something underground. Earthworms. They were taking over and destroying everything in their path. I needed to control them. I needed a predator. Meet the eastern worm. Snake. She is a master worm hunter, and hopefully she can keep their population in check. While this war was going on below ground, something magical began to grow above. Mushrooms. They are one of the fastest growing species on our planet, and snails have emerged to feed. These mushrooms were not the only life within the law. Inside there lies the beginnings of an empire. This is a queen carpenter ant, and she is raising her first batch of young. Each one of these larvae is going to become a loyal worker to serve her empire. By day 21, the plants had grown dramatically. There were now many forms of life. But could they live together? This slug, for example, had just laid a pile of eggs. She has to stand watch because other animals were out to eat them. Crickets. They were not only eating her eggs, but many of the plants too. Their population was quickly getting out of hand. They didn't have a predator until now. Here is a male and female jumping spider. They make one deadly duo. After adding them into the tank, they began the hunt. The crickets have incredible eyesight, but the spider's vision is even better. They have eyes on the front and back of their head. With only one bite, he is totally paralyzed. It was time to enjoy her hard-earned meal. Now life around the log did not go unnoticed. Inside, the queen's first worker had begun to hatch. The queen helped her emerge from her cocoon until she could stand on her own 6 feet. She was the first of many. Me, by day 50. The tank was completely overgrown. The plants were choking each other out. I needed something to eat them. Something big. Meet the spike plate millipede. These large herbivores should eat many of the plants. After adding them in, they took refuge deep in the undergrowth. They explored the tank, looking for a safe place to hide. This one had walked right past a web, a jumping spider nest. This nest was built with one girl in mind due to protect her young from that stage. They were completely transparent, and the babies were trying to find a way out. The first baby manages to break free, and soon the rest follow. Clouds were rolling in and all of the animals needed to hide. It could only mean one thing. It was about to rain. Many of the animals gathered after the storm for a drink. Even the worm snake made a short visit. By day, 80 flowers began to bloom. Despite their beauty, not all life was balanced. The jumping spiders were having trouble finding food as the ants were taking over. Inside their nest, an army was forming. I needed to stop them. It was time to introduce a new predator. Here is a group of scorpions. And not just any scorpion. These are wood scorpions. They have powerful claws and a venomous sting. So it was time to add them into the tank. I carefully lowered them into the undergrowth. Most of the scorpions decided to take shelter. But this one had wandered into jumping spider territory. He has no idea because he is nearly blind. His only option was to stand completely still. She's tasting him to see if he's food. As she begins to walk away, he moves. But it looks like he got away with it this time. That mistake almost cost him his life, and soon day faded to night and they re-emerged. They glow under ultraviolet light so they can recognize one another. In the shadows, there lived another mythical creature, the ornate harvestman. They scavenge the dark terrain for whatever food they can find. By day 90, the dry season had come. There was no more rain, and the ground began to dry out. I carefully removed every last animal from the tank, but not for the reason you might think, because on day 94, a dry thunderstorm was about to begin. A wildfire. It quickly began to spread. Everything began to burn until every last plant was gone. Or so I thought. From Theseus sprouted new life. The cycle was going to begin. All over again and again and again. Here is another ecosystem I made, and be sure to check it out.